At noon, the Bedford County Sheriff's Office says one person was electrocuted this morning and two others were hurt at Smith Mountain Lake. Fire and rescue crews were called early this morning to a private dock at Craddock Creek Marina. The fire crew tested the water and found there was an electric current. Responders say a man from Colorado was killed. The two who were hurt were up and coherent when crews arrived. Officials say the homeowner's been notified, with crews recommending that an electrician come address the issue.